you couldn't be resentful because it's not like he just woke up one day and it was like, here you go. You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen.
Never too different. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. At 13, I joined Cyphers in Boston. I took the train. My first time out the North Shore before touring to fame. Surrounded by these black and Spanish dudes, mid or late 20s. They could tell I lived a sheltered life, they still chose to respect me. I was timid, they were braver. I was spit, but they were better. Talking about much realer things, dead friends and gang pressure. I would just rap about rapping, but they still were never haters. Hugging my mom when they met her, told her son's gonna be major. My dad wasn't the bravest, so I looked up to those dudes as real men, my motivation. We're more talented than me, they set the bar that I was chasing. Fast forward, I'm the only one who made it. Now I'm not supposed to be here. My neighbors drive a Tesla, young daughter in the backseat. Get mad when I whip fast down the cul-de-sac, happy. My other neighbors are an older couple, maybe 60s. Probably worked their whole life to get that house and drive that Bentley. 4 levels, big door, long tall stairs. On the other side, there's a crib like theirs. 3 young kids, early 20s, no parents. Every Friday night, 8 other cars are next to theirs. And I wonder what they think. Do they even know there's just that one kid paying for it? The 2 others are his bros, getting used to a lifestyle they may never reach alone. They think that I'm doing them a favor, but I don't know. What happens when I wanna move or wanna be alone? Am I selfish? Do I trick my friends with life that ain't their own? 5-star meals, cleaning ladies are their norm. I love my fucking dogs, I'd do anything for them. I wanna take them with me everywhere, that's what I do it for. But all they gon' resent me if one day I cannot do it no more. Feel like I'm tricking fate and all these blessings might disguise a spoiled kid with homies. I gotta remind that we not supposed to be here.
Brev. I couldn't find a spot to pause. Man. Hello, you guys. I have some major catching up to do with token stuff. Dude, this is like a proper self-reflection one. You know what I mean? And also a shout to the people that sort of inspired him, I suppose, and encouraged him to keep going. And like, those are the true people you want around you. You know what I mean? You don't want the haters and shit. People that, like he says, he's like, they were better than me, and I was only rapping about rapping, really. And they never hated me for it, not once. And that's what you want. You want that encouragement and support and shit like that. It's lovely to hear. But the beat is making me feel a bit sad. You know what I mean? And you are supposed to be here. It's like you put in the work and you reap the rewards. You know what I mean? And he's quite clearly been putting in the work. You know? And currently he's fucking everywhere. He's doing like collabs with Tech9 and all sorts. It's absolutely fantastic to see. And he's still like humble AF. You know what I mean? The slight back and forth that I've had with him. He's a proper humble dude. You know what I mean? And he's rubbing shoulders with some absolute legends right now, and it's lovely to see. It's wonderful to see. And I couldn't disagree more. You know? You are supposed to be there. Token, you are supposed to be there, bro. You put in the work, you've kept grafting, you've kept chasing your dream. You know, and now you're getting there. Now you're fucking getting there. And it's like, everybody does it though, right? You look around and you like compare yourself, like you said, the couple next door are in their 60s. They probably worked all their life to get this house, and then they look next door, there's a dude that's like young AF, you know? And he's got this, he's got that, he's got fucking a million cars outside in the driveway all the time. And it's like, it's not about that comparison. We all have different paths. You know what I mean? We've all got different paths, and That's great. We need that. We need that difference, you know? And you couldn't be resentful because it's not like he just woke up one day and it was like, here you go. You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You don't wake up to your wildest dreams, right? You have to put in the graft. You have to keep going. You have to keep your head up. You keep strong. You know what I mean? And again, having that support system behind you, Discordians and Twitch folk and patrons and elites, which I'll give love to like I always do at the end, you'll know. I couldn't keep doing this without you guys. You know what I mean? I've got an amazing support system around me, so I feel that, like, deeply. And shout out Berv. Thank you for this. I'm sorry it took so long, bro. I'm getting back on the horse. You know what I mean? We're staying consistent. And we're chasing our own dreams, right? So let's fucking... Sorry for the waffle, but this one's... It's hitting a few deeper parts of me, and I'm a fan of it, you know? But I also agree with him in the fact that if you've got your boys around and they get used to a particular lifestyle, are they going to resent you if you're like one day like, dude, I can't do this anymore? You know, I can't keep this up, and that's a true fear. It's definitely a true fear, but you know, if they're your real homies, if they're your real mates, they'll understand, right? They'll be with you through thick and thin and you know, everything that comes with it, right? Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna stop talking so much, but it's a reaction video, so you know what I mean? Get off my case. Anyway, let's crack on. I hope everyone's well.
Star meals, cleaning ladies are their norm. I love my fucking dogs, I do anything for them. I wanna take them with me everywhere, that's what I do it for. But all they gon' resent me if one day I cannot do it no more. Feel like I'm tricking fate and all these blessings might disguise a spoiled kid with homies. I gotta remind that we not supposed to be here. It could be just coincidence or maybe fate planned it. The house that I moved into with my money from Atlantic was my dream house, till I realized where I got the dream from. It looked exactly like my best friend's house in 7th grade, the same house I used to steal from. When he was out of town, I used to break it with my older friend and look around and take anything of value that I saw. The most ironic part about it all is that the kid who lived there wasn't just a friend. He was the only kid who convinced me to put my music on the internet. Without him, I never would be on these steps. Now this house is just a stark reminder of the bad friend I've always been. Liar that I've always been. Cheater and deceiver still. Lucky motherfucker, but know how to play the victim still. They tell me I fell off and fans defend me. Now it's okay. I promise I'm not even supposed to be here in the first place.
Oh, brother, I got fucking chills off that. I feel that, bro. But this having that self-realization of I've been terrible, I've done this fucked up shit, and taking steps to not be like that anymore is massive. It's massive. I've been a piece of shit. You know what I mean? I really have. I've gone out and done things that I later have regretted, and I've, you know, done similar shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's sure, you live with the guilt and you wish you could go back and change it, but it was, you know, situational, circumstantial at the time, right? But learning from that and growing into a better person and, you know, taking the steps to not be in that kind of lifestyle anymore is half the battle, right? Because it's like you're pushed into the world. It's like, there you go on, good luck, have fun. And if you're not taught properly how to do it, if you're not, you know, put into fortunate situations, like a lot of folks, and you have to kind of drag yourself through life alone, it's hard. It's fucking hard. You know what I mean? If you don't have the, like he said, his dad wasn't always sort of the strongest, dude, so he really looked up to those guys as like real men, and from what he's saying, they were fucking great for him, right? But I've been surrounded by some people that I couldn't even dream of being friends with now. You know what I mean? Some of the shitty situations that we found ourselves in, that I was like, these people are the only people that in my mind at the time, cared about me and respected me. You know, if they did, we wouldn't be in those positions in the first place. We'd be bigging each other up and trying to make each other better people, right? But it wasn't like that. We had to do shit to survive, right? So I feel that. But like I say, being self-aware and taking the steps and stuff to not be like that anymore, and then finding yourself in a position like this where you've got fucking all you ever wanted, right? He says it was his dream house, but it's also a stark reminder of sort of the shitty friend that he was. And that's fair, right? That's fair. There has to be balance. You know what I mean? Like, I've had my fair share of balancing, excuse me, like balancing situations. You go over there, you do something shady that gets you ahead, and then something comes along that just kind of knocks your legs out from underneath you. There's balance all the way. The universe will always balance everything out, you know? But it's not like he kind of, he said that he feels like he got lucky, but like without putting the work in, without putting your music out there, without any of that shit, without people encouraging you to do so and telling you how good it is and how much it's gonna fucking pop off for you and giving you that self-belief, you wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? So you know, you have this internal sort of like imposter struggle. You know what I'm saying? I deal with it all the time. My fucking Twitch homies will tell you, like, if streams popping off and there's shit going off and donations coming in and gift subs and like bitties are flying about all over the place, I'm like, you guys are too much. I don't fucking deserve it. And I really truly feel like I don't deserve it. And they all turn around and go, what the fuck are you talking about? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it's a reminder of like, they're constantly reminding what I give to them as well. You know what I mean? And you need that. You really need that. Otherwise, your own brain will just tear you to pieces, you know? And you'll just end up feeling like shit and maybe giving up, right? Giving up on something that you absolutely love to do, being surrounded by people that you absolutely love to be surrounded by. You know what I'm saying? So I feel this song like hard. I feel it. I really do. Boy, big up Token, man. You do deserve to be there, bro. You are supposed to. Oh, fucking hell, Berth. You were like, this one's a bit of a deepers, and it is. It's tickling some familiar parts of me. I can relate to a lot of this. I really can. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like, you know, I'm still like just paying my way through every month, right? It's not like I've gone and bought my dream house and I'm driving around in the car I've always wanted and that kind of shit, right? But on my little level, I don't even feel like I'm supposed to be here. You know what I mean? So let alone, you know, I can't imagine if shit absolutely exploded and how that'd make me feel. But again, having the right community around you, having the right support system, and you know, he says his fans will always run to his defense and stuff like that, and that's a good thing, in my opinion. You know, it kind of keeps you in the right spot because you'll always ground yourself, you know, and you have the occasional people around you that will keep you grounded, that will keep you sort of reminded of kind of where you came from. But you also need that counter side of like, look at what you do bring, you know, from my perspective, look at what you bring to the table, look at what you put back out into the community, and look how many people you're helping just by being you and just by doing the things that you do, you know? So it constantly is I'm reminded that it's a two-way street. I'm not just sitting here like doing nothing and getting rewarded for it. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. I really, really do. You know? Man. Berth, you legend. This is, like I say, I've got a bunch of Token to catch up on, and I feel bad for kind of dropping the ball. But I kind of made a promise that through this year I'm going to be a lot more consistent and just keep putting stuff out and getting back on the reaction train and stuff like that. Like I say, I'm streaming over on Twitch and stuff. I'm trying to juggle like a million things at once, it feels like. With all the YouTube stuff and the Twitch shit and all that, but it's so worth it because the community's fantastic. It really is. You guys are just so amazing, and I love you to bits. You ought to know it by now. you know? But big up, Berv. Big up yourself, brother. Take a hug. You absolute bloody legend. You absolute bloody legend, Berv. Right. That was dope. And it was, I like the deepness to it. I did. I was expecting it to be a bit, like sadder. You know, it's not happy by any means, right? It's like a proper self-reflection, it feels like, but it's more deep than it was sad. And it's a little bit sad, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not happy that he's feeling that way, right? But at the same time, you know, there's the other side. He's been putting in the work. He's continuing to do so, and he's reaping the rewards of that hard work that he's been putting in, and he's getting recognized for the obvious talent that he is, you know? And I'm stoked. I'm proud of that for him. I'm proud of him for that, is what I meant to say. But yeah, anyway. Thank you, Berv. And thank you guys if you're still here listening to me. This was like fucking 12 minutes of waffle. But you know, that's why we're here. It's the whole reason I've got this fucking cheeky breaky waffle tattoo, you legends. Because it reminds me of why we're here. You know what I mean? It reminds me of the journey. And it reminds me that there's still a long way to go, and we're gonna fucking get there. We're gonna get there, you guys. But yeah, I'll leave you to your days. Thank you so much, you absolute bunch of legends. Big up my Discordians, my Twitch folk, my patrons, and my elite. I love you to pieces. You absolutely know it. And aside from all the waffle, my friends, please do take care when you're out and about in the world, because you are awesome, and you are righteous. And I do want to see you in the next one. Peace and love, my friends.